everybody to another episode of All Elite with Keeks. Y'all gonna have to take me as I am today. I was off on this President's Day, so it ain't no fashion show for me today. Sorry, fellas and ladies, whatever. Um, we here today. I am here with Backstage Brawl. Last time I had Randy and Eric. This time I have Randy and Ty here today to join me on this week. It's been a wild week. So we're going to get into some things. Before we get started, how is y'all days today, fellas?
So far, so good. So I'm good. It's good to be on a break. So I'm off and.
Amen. Amen.
Much needed time off.
And new faces to Ty. Ty, tell everybody about yourself.
I'm one of the youngest members of the Backstage Brawl. I've been put as the Chief Operating Officer of fantasy booking, which is probably the most fun thing we can do as wrestling fans, future analysts and whatnot. So I'm happy to be here. It's an honor. And thank you for everything.
Thank you for joining on today. So we're gonna get started because it's a lot to talk about. We're gonna start with Dynamite review. The first thing that happened on Dynamite was the 8-man tag match. You had the Acclaim, Orange Cassidy, and Daddy Ass versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam. That's what I call Satnam and Sanjay.
Why are you saying done?
Satnam and Sanjay. Another TNA type of match. But it was also fun. It was interesting. And it was also, that was the time that we did hear that Jeff Jarrett's father, Jerry Jarrett, passed. And he still wanted to continue to do the match. So what did y'all think of this match? Randy, you can go first.
Man, I enjoyed it, man, and shout out to Jeff for basically wrestling, while grieving through the loss of his father. Like I said, we said on the broadcast, Jeff Jarrett was the best signing that Tony Khan had going into 2022. Like his experience, his valuable, experience while running TNA is definitely helping some of the AEW guys along, and it's been producing some good matches. So like having him has been a big plus, and I enjoy every time he's out there. I enjoy watching him, especially hearing the song and all that stuff. So it's been good seeing him.
What about you, Ty?
Oh man, it was a fun tag match. I love me some Bree Woo. Love me some Jeff Jarrett. I think my highlight of the match was obviously the leg drop, the groin leg drop spot that happened. All of the different run-ins and stops and that was going on. I enjoyed seeing Orange Cassidy getting the reaction that he's been getting. He's one of the most deserving people on the roster of that. I'm too old because I've seen many different versions of Sanjay Dutt, and there is no reason why this man should be wrestling with a pencil in his ear. But I love it. I think it was a great way to open the show. I love how comfortable the Acclaimed are and how they've come in as a tag team. So it's been pretty dope. It's pretty dope seeing that tag match.
What I like most is they still, even though the week prior that they lost the tag titles, they still haven't lost their mojo, or as you could say, the pop, the crowd, the wave, the Acclaim wave. Because some people felt like it died down, but it didn't die down. If anything, it was just awkward seeing them without the belts. For me personally. What about y'all?
The only thing I really see, like, it is weird seeing them without the belts because it feels kind of bittersweet. I know some people made the argument that Billy Gunn should have had something to do with them losing it, which would have made a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to see how they spin this, especially with Revolution coming up around the corner. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for right now. I'm not going to judge just yet.
Yeah. That makes sense. So we're going to move on to the next match that happened on the card. It was the Texas Tornado tag match. You had Claudio and Moxley versus Preston Vance and Preston Vance and also Rouge. I didn't tell him to put that on.
Oh God, Rush's face.
Yeah. Preston Vance really shined in this match. He was trending right when this match was happening. People like seeing him in this angle more than they did when he was with Dark Order. Me personally, I do too. I like this Preston Vance a lot. He is definitely going to be somebody to look for during this year as far as like heels in AEW. What do you think so far of this match entirely, though? Either one of y'all can talk.
Oh, you want me? You want
to take it?
I'll take it. It was the chaos it needed to be. Texas Tornado. We used to have a lot of fun watching these type of matches. It's a great change of pace, especially considering having all four people in the ring. It gives you the chaos of a fatal four-way, but a little bit more purpose behind it. Shout outs to Preston for bleeding as he did. Man was leaking in that match. What you call it? With the BCC, I'm used to the members leaking. BCC to me stands for blood comes constantly. So I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Claudio. Got some good moves in there. It was exactly what it needed to be.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't really say much wrong with it. I think it was very hard hitting and very chaotic, and that's what I needed.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Randy?
I love brutality. So anytime I get a chance to see some blood and guts and people just, I just loved all of it, man. And anytime that Mox bleeds like 2-3 minutes into a match, you already know it's going to be a banger. So I definitely enjoyed the Blackpool Combat Club. And every time they come out, you're always going to know you're going to get the hardest hitting match of the card. So I definitely.
That man is a sadist.
Yes, he is.
If Moxley ain't bleeding, keep it.
Yeah.
He gotta bleed. I gotta see blood. Actually, I'd rather just see more blood. I want to see him drowned in blood. I need more.
You sound like that remix to that Gangrel song from that 90s rap album they did in WWE.
About till I see blood.
That's right. Right.
I need to see more blood from Moxley. I did enjoy this match too. Roosh and Preston Vance worked really great as a tag team. So they both compliment one another too in the ring as if they've been tag teams before. So I like this. I like seeing them together. So maybe we'll see them in the tag team division soon. It could work. You never know. Mm-hmm. But next up on that card, we had Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian and Butcher and the Blade had attacked Adam Page backstage when Adam Page was doing the Bret Hart watching from the.
Oh, that's beautiful.
When he was doing he got attacked because Adam Page is facing Kip Sabian later on during that card. So that happened. So we're not gonna do too much on that. And then also the Warlow promo that he had with JR, the interview when he's explaining his hair had a purpose. He's explained that he grew out his hair because his father had cancer. His hair came out, so he had hair, and Samoa Joe, you took that from him. You took his hair because he is his hair, and you took it. So now he wants revenge. He wants revenge for his hair. So the feud continues because you cut off his hair, and now it's personal.
Yeah.
That was actually my highlight of the show. I'm not even gonna say here.
What?
No, because the way you described it is hilarious. But like the way that the passion in Wardlow's voice and his inflections, how he felt about like the connection of his hair to his dad who had passed away some time ago, and how much like the fact that Joe knew that and still went along with it, like it sold me very much on Joe's sadism, which it's well documented. We've seen it across multiple different promotions, but it also sold me on how much like this match is I like when they emphasize the fact that this is a personal match on top of all the other circumstances, because now you have more of like a direct connection to why he's doing this, which helps get him over, helps get the whole angle over. It's probably the most productive promotion you can do for the matchup when you bring that in essence of reality in. And, you know, he's Batista-ing it right now in terms of the actual look. He kind of looks like Batista in 03. I like the fact that he made those connections, and I like the fact that he got me as invested in it as he did. Great work from Jim Ross. Great with the sit-down interviews as always. And Samoa Joe, I'm actually afraid for Samoa Joe. Not of him, afraid for him for once. So it's pretty good.
With this view, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get to look at all the meat on the screen right now. Look at it. Look at it. One of them titles is going away. And also a possible shoulder might be missing. Way Wardlow's pissed off right now. So
yeah, Wardlow's mad about the hair. You took his hair. He about to take something from you because you took his hair. I understand, because if somebody was to cut my hair, I'd be.
That's why I wear a hat.
What about you, Randy? What you think of the promo?
Man, well, I've been a fan of Wardlow. Like Ty said, like he reminds me of like a young Batista, and AEW can definitely rocket ship, you know, him to the moon in terms of how they're going to push him. This is a personal feud, and obviously with, you know, the connection to his father and what the hair meant to him, like you took some of mine. And again, like Ty said, like I'm gonna come back and get something. He's gonna spend the block and do something with it. He's gonna leave with something.
Yeah.
So, that's what Wardlow's about to do, and he's gonna take that TNT title back and keep it with the home brand of AEW.
And left with hair.
Yeah, and leave with what's left of some.
Hey, you know, credit to Wardlow on that too. Most times we see hair angles in American pro wrestling. I'm not going to count Mexico necessarily, but American pro wrestling is usually pretty silly. I still remember Kurt Angle crying, so credit to him. Credit to him for making me care about this hair the way that he did. Like that's beautiful.
Not when Trump cut Vince McMahon hair.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gonna move on from that then. After that we had Mark Briscoe versus Josh Woods.
I enjoyed that.
Like a great ROH type of match that we had on the card. We had a lot of outside ring interference with Mark and also Tony Nese and the whole gang or whatever. And then Lucha Brothers came in for the save. You know, Lucha Brothers' visa situation is fixed, so they are in the States again. All is one piece. We can all have hope in 2023 now. But again, another great match with Mark Briscoe. Of course, we're going to see Mark Briscoe get pushed this year. Like I've said before, you know, it's an unfortunate circumstances why, you know, it took this in order for people to see them on TV. But hey, we got it. We just gonna keep riding the wheels till the wheels fall off when it comes to Mark Briscoe. So, what did you think of the match overall? Either one of you can go.
I personally enjoyed it because, like, you know, I'm a big fan of the Briscoes because he put me onto the Briscoes when we first became friends, and so like just watching his work and him just doing what he was doing and how the promo leading up to the match, it made for a decent story. Obviously, it may be like something in the short term, but it was good to showcase Mark Briscoe, especially on AEW TV, and also for Josh Woods as well. So it was hard hitting. You got some excitement, got a lot of high spots, and I definitely enjoyed it, man. So anytime you get good wrestling, especially from Mark Briscoe, you know it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. What about
Goddamn right. You goddamn right. Now I love the Briscoes. God bless Mark doing what he's doing, carrying on and walking on in his brother's memory, and also for his own career, keeping the tag team championship with them. I love that, the symbolism of that. I think that they had a great matchup. Josh Woods, an excellent talent. I was happy that he got picked up under Tony Khan because he did some great things in the darker days of Ring of Honor that a lot of people tuned out. He was a great pure champion there. I think it was a good showcase for both of them. I love the fact that Mark is on the most charismatic high possible. Him clapping with the chair to get the crowd hype, him doing the tope with the chair, him just being funky like a monkey on the apron. I love it. It is one of the most heartwarming things you can watch in pro wrestling right now. God bless that man. Keep on walking, man.
Yes, he still maintained high spirits, and you can see it in his aura when he comes out in the ring. So,
He's
like y'all,
he's a strong man of faith, man. Someone that's strong man of faith.
Very much so. But yeah, I agree with everything both of y'all saying. especially Ty. Like I've said before, I've always called them the Bay Boys because I thought they was from the Bayou and I didn't know they was from Maryland. So I haven't been calling them the Bay Boys since Jay Briscoe passed out of respect. So but yeah, it was just I wouldn't say it was not an important card. You know, people have been complaining we don't want ROH tied in with AEW on Wednesdays, but in a way, it still kind of is because we know Josh Woods from ROH and, of course, Mark Briscoe in ROH. And Josh Woods is a great wrestler, too. And he was great as a pure champion when he was in ROH and everything like that. I've seen him live when they had the super card out here in Dallas. So when he fought Swerve. And that was a good match. So kudos to Josh Woods. So, I think he will make a good fit for AEW too. He should be signed.
Oh yeah,
for sure, most definitely.
Oh, okay, baby. Bless you. And then after that, we had hold on, let me go to my notes, y'all. Oh, and then we had the Scarf Boy promo. He came out and he did his promo or whatever, and then he called out Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels basically told him, boy, fuck you, I'm not doing that. You don't run nothing, you ain't my daddy.
As he should.
And he what he do? He kicked him from the low blow kick, and then that's when we had Daniels to run out because they're continuing this feud to set up to the build for the match for Revolution, the 60-minute Iron Man match, Bryan Danielson versus the Scarf Man. What did you think of the promo? I'll start with you, Randy.
I mean, I was happy to see Christopher Daniels, but you know, I personally feel like, you know, dude is kind of flopping right now as a champion right now. I'm just ready for Bryan to just whip his ass and take the title, but I know that's not gonna happen.
What if it do?
I'll be happy. I'll be goddamn happy. I mean, listen, if Prep Boy loses that title at Revolution, man, I'm gonna be out there singing and dancing, man. Listen, I ain't trying to have him champion no more.
What about you, Ty? What is your thoughts of this title reign so far?
It's taking its time. It definitely needs. I think the swift kick in the ass is keeping everybody grounded and keeping like a certain consistency with it. You talked about on the broadcast how a lot of people had these expectations of MJF to be on this high because a lot of his stuff was just elevating. But every single run has a cool off period, and there are things that can be changed. But especially with stuff like tonight, these are the kind of things that I kind of live for as a fan. Again, these like powerful little promo pieces, right? Like Christopher Daniels basically sent MJF back down to earth, and considering he's salted the earth, that's saying something. He was very effective in translating to the fact, like what everyone already knows, what MJF is in, because MJF is a very delusional person, even though he speaks from a place of reality. Christopher Daniels brought him back to earth and said, the only reason why you really hate this man is because he's everything that you want to be. And the stuff that Danielson was able to accomplish so early in his career, to the point where he had a whole award named after him, and he wasn't even in the prime of his career yet, it speaks volumes to the amount of influence he has. He has a legitimate case to be one of the greatest of all time. And the fact that they're pushing this in that manner, I think it's a good step in the right direction. I want to see Danielson win too. American Dragon's always been one of my favorite people. If he doesn't, I can live with that because, you know, that's a cool little footnote. It's like you've done it all around the world. You've been successful in every company you've been in except here. We saw what he did with Hangman last year. He keeps getting closer and closer. But if he never gets it, I can live with it. If he does get it, then it'll be interesting to see how MJF bounces back. Maybe that impassions him to get back to that elevated point a lot of people want to see out of the guy. And also, the same way that I think Moxley needs a vacation, Danielson needs a new T-shirt because this white T-shirt, I'm convinced it's the same shirt. It's the same Hanes shirt every goddamn week, and I need him to wash it. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing this every week.
Danielson is like one of them plain Jane, like if it's in the pack, I'm gonna just get one out the pack and go about the day.
He's like a bleached T-shirt Timmy Turner, just the same outfit every week. And I can live with that, but no, I can't. I need a new shirt. Tired of it.
Right.
That was wild.
But I do agree with you with the title reign. with the title reign, but let me see, because I talked about it last week how since he's been champion, his particular demo count is not there. Like it's always and we've seen like the complaints. People want to see him more in the ring. He's trying to do the same thing as he stated, like Ric Flair and all of them. They held the title. They wasn't a fighting champion. But I've always said that it's not going to work in this day and time. And the only reason why it's working for Roman is because Roman's did what he had to do to even get to this point in his career, to be a quote unquote part-time wrestler or, things like that, because he's done the work. Prior to this person that, of course he built his name in the indies and things like that, but I don't think you have the credentials yet to sit here and just hold a title, especially in a brand like AEW. AEW is all about fighting. That was their whole motto when they started. Like we're for the hardcores. We're gonna be fighting. And he's coming in here just holding, talking shit, saying the same shit, holding. So
I think that makes him, but I get where you're coming from with that. I think that if you're going to take a different path, you have to take different precautions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's going to be the type of champion that's holding, I think the fact that he is the opposite of what AEW stands for works to his advantage. I think it's just more so a matter of, does the company work around that? Because when in the case of him being on national TV as often as he is compared to Ric Flair, where it was like, depending on the title reign, he had different circumstances, right? So for MJF, it's going to take a lot more different segments, intriguing segments, a lot more of him maybe utilizing social media differently as opposed to just attacking random people. Do that, and then also post promos of where you are, what you're doing, integrate those into the show, and kind of give more people a reason to hate him beyond just what we normally expect. I think for him, it's the fact that a lot of the stuff he's doing is kind of typical of him. Mm-hmm. He's not really jumping out of his comfort zone and pushing the button more, which is kind of ironic to say about MJF since what we have seen of him. So I think the adjustments are needed, but I do think the path is valid. Like he can do it. They just need to work harder on it personally.
And to add what Ty was saying, for me, it's like from looking at the way his reign's been so far, it's like it's only so long you can do the lowest hanging fruit in terms of what you're supposed to be doing. You do got to step out to your comfort zone to reach certain people. I mean, it's easy to antagonize certain people and random people online and do this kind of third in order to get heat. But if you're trying to advance as a champion, you have to basically, if you are a true student of the game, you have to look at how all the other greats have done it, how they've matriculated, how they've like graduated from this version of a heel to where you're trying to convey a story so that the bigger babyface can have that big payoff. He's not doing that. It's like the lowest hanging fruit. I think that it comes with age. He's young enough to realize it. I just hope that he catches it and does something different in order to basically make fruit of this world title reign right now.
That's if he wants to too, though.
That's true.
Well, he's got to step up. He's got to step up or shut up. And I know he won't shut up. So you better step up.
That's why Danielson got to take his arm off.
Me personally, this 60-man Iron Man match is going to be a test to me. Like, I'm going to see, like, okay, this is for me to see, besides everything that happened, is he what he say he is, or is CM Punk right about him specifically? So,
do you think there's a parallel to be drawn to how he could lose this championship and get that motivation back, similar to how they had, like, I hate to bring up the E, but like how they had Austin Theory lose the briefcase to further his character and get him to a more credible state? Because I think that might be possible here with an MJF, where he could bounce back and Brian could be the perfect like puppy to kick for him to get all the heat he needs.
But the thing with Austin Theory, though, Austin Theory doesn't mind learning. He's teachable.
That's true. That is true. It could be an ego thing on this one. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely teachable. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will keep that in mind as well, because I don't want to be too biased for personal reason, but at the same time, That does make a key point. So enough about the Scarf Man. We're gonna move on to Top Flight and AR5 versus the Elite. They did have a promo backstage for a rematch. During that promo, we saw something interesting. It was like a hint of House of Black. So yeah, we saw that. That is a nice little way to put it out there that House of Black is coming for those trios championship. So we may possibly see the Elite versus the House of Black at Revolution. What do you think?
I care. I'm ready. Like, you'll sign me up because I'm gonna see kicks flying somewhere. Like, Kenny gonna be doing like triple flips in the air. Listen, I'm ready. Like, you sign me up for that match. Like, that's one trios match that I've been dying to see since the Lucha Brothers, since Death Triangle had their run, their best of 7. I know they wanted to slow burn that, but I am ready. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm so ready, man.
Right. What about you, Ty?
I need Black to get some gold. I need Black to get some gold. Also, there's gonna be a lot of bruised thighs. There's gonna be a lot of thigh slappage. That match is gonna be a lot of. I'm excited. I'm also happy for AR Fox and Top Flight because Top Flight has had a hell of a rocky road. So for them to be able to jump kind of between tag and trios is great, especially for the other teams as well. They can find an extra person, but that's gonna be chaotic. That's gonna be a demolition derby of a match. So
they definitely gonna push the Elite to their limit, and Elite is gonna push them to their limit. So it's gonna be a great match once it's set up because we only have 2 weeks now until Revolution, or a week, 2 weeks or a week. One of them, March 5th. Yeah. So we'll get to it when we get to it though, to talk about that. And then after that, we had Brian Cage versus Jack Perry, Jungle Boy. I do want to say I am actually enjoying Brian Cage run now than I have ever before. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is this time that he's done differently. I think he's more, huh?
He ain't talking.
It has to be that. It's that, and he's not wrestling with a chip on his shoulder either. It's like he's wrestling for fun. He's being his fun side prior to wrestling with a chip on his shoulder or trying to find a place and feeling underused and all this other stuff. So I think we're seeing a different Brian Cage in a different light, and I'm enjoying it. And he's not talking more, and that probably has a lot to do with it too.
I wasn't ready for that.
You, Ty?
The dope match. I'm a sucker for pure wrestling moves, so Jack Perry winning off of a cradle was what I needed, that rolling cradle. I like how Brian Cage's moves are all finishers. It's just everything is just finisher worthy. He razor's edged him onto the apron. He power bombed him into the buckles. He's just hitting F5s into every. I'm just like, man, that's not fair. You get 2 at max in the video game. Well, I guess in the AEW video game you get 6. So that makes sense. But still, like, my God. There was a point where I was just like, Jungle Boy's spine is crying. I'm just like, this. It sounds like a water bottle, and I don't like it. But I thought it was solid. I thought it was solid. I think Jungle Boy, him being on his own and them transitioning the story through. Well, we'll talk about him when he comes out through a certain like little roadblock in their original story plans. Him going singles it's a goddamn beautiful thing.
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing.
I keep saying he's going to be the one to take down Scarf Man. He's going to be the pillar to do it.
Oh man, I've never rooted against somebody from New York so much in my life, and that's where we're from. But my God.
See, Nassau County, that county don't count from New York City for us. So.
Long Island.
Yeah, Nassau County don't count.
The building is in Queens.
I thought y'all said something else don't count. Y'all don't count. It's Long Island and somebody else.
Staten Island. Staten Island's New Jersey.
Staten Island, y'all.
Oh my God.
I don't.
They don't reflect all of our views. Randy's voice does not reflect all of our views. But I will say, UBS, stop saying it's in Long Island. It's in Queens. Please stop doing that.
It's in the hood, man.
I'm from the Bronx. Shanti said I could be from the Bronx, so I'm from the Bronx.
Okay.
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 When I go up there, I'm from the Bronx. That's what she told me to say. I'm from the Bronx.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
What y'all see?
I'm agreeing with you. I don't know what he's doing. He's buffering right now. I have no idea what that is.
No,
what's wrong with the Bronx? That's why y'all talking about my other hood.
I got nothing. I got no problem with the Bronx.
I went to school in the Bronx, so I'm good.
Yeah, it's just
boogie down, right?
Next question.
Okay. Randy. Next thing you know, then Jungle Boy, of course, he took the dub, and then the GOAT, the Hill of Hills, came back.
Goddamn right.
Well, with the world.
Look at that.
Keepers, we've been waiting on this. Y'all heard me each week. I miss Christian. I've been saying it. Peepers, shout out to if you the peepers, you already know what to do. Shout out to the peepers.
Look at that crimson jacket. He out for blood. My dog. My dog. Look at that. No, put that photo back up, please.
Put the photo, Christian.
Look at that. Look at that villain. Look at that college professor about to do a lecture. Look at him.
He was cold in that though, man.
I wish we could zoom in on Jungle Boy's body. Just on the floor, just out cold because of Christian.
And then he took his armband off like, hey, shit, bro.
Man, I've been waiting for this my whole life. This is my favorite wrestler on this roster. Y'all know that you don't, Randy. You don't get an opinion on this one. This is me and Keeks right now. This is for the real peeps.
This is only conversation.
God, put it that way. Put it back on. Don't do that.
People's only conversation. Edge stand, see your way out.
That's funny.
What's good, Drip?
Edge fans, see y'all way out.
Okay.
Here, People's gang.
Turtlenecks are strong.
Let me get one more shot of Christian with that jacket real quick. Let's just praise this man. Look at
put Christian back on.
Look at that. Look at how smug this man. He was in one of the hottest angles in this company's history not too long ago. He came out, just dropped Jungle Boy with the mace and the unprettier, the kill switch, the kamikaze, whatever you want to call that move. Hit him with and drop him on the ground. Goddamn right. Yeah, he ain't done with Jungle Boy. I love Jungle Boy, but I love Christian more. I'm biased.
Me too.
I said it.
High five.
There it is. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Take Randy off the screen one more time. Let's just do that one for me.
Only Chad.
Okay.
I'm mad he took him off the screen.
Shout out to the papers that's listening to the show. We pray for times like this.
All my life I had to fight for that.
It beat after CM Punk debut. I don't care what nobody say. I was.
And one of the best catalogs of AEW matches too, Christian. I still say he gave Adam Cole his best match, in my opinion. In my opinion.
By far.
You know. So there we go.
The Christian versus Kenny Omega Rampage.
One of the best matches in the goddamn history of the show. Actually, both shows. Actually, just the company. No, and it was an emotional moment.
Brian?
Main evented one of the biggest shows too. Yeah, this is. Oh my God! No, we got to change topics. We're gonna be here forever.
Kenny said, "Oh, I'll drop it to Christian, of course." It's
goddamn right. That's his dad, Canada. What y'all doing?
And then when y'all remember Christian did the promo because MJF was pocket watching, and he had to let him know like, until you have a pay-per-view named after your match, don't count my pockets.
Damn right. Damn right. And he won the first match in the history of that pay-per-view TLC too.
Don't count my pockets. I earned this money.
Yeah, damn right.
I earned this money. Was you
Him and Cole was flames.
That's right. That's right. See that you got good taste. You got good taste. My dog.
My dog. My dog.
My dog.
Man, did he ever call Jack's mom?
Damn.
You're not gonna ruin this moment for me. No, actually, no. I'm gonna disregard that comment. You're not gonna ruin this. That's good heel work.
Adam Cole, Adam Cole had to sit down with Renee, and Adam Cole letting the backstage know again. I'm here now. But I really think, me personally, conspiracy, that we getting that Jay White versus Adam Cole. I'm just saying. I think that's
I have a feeling about that too. I've had a hunch about that for a minute too, because I'm like, it's all too mysterious going on right now, man.
That Bullet Club shit ain't over. So I feel like that's what he kind of is going to get to that.
And you know, and it's crazy because we just talked about that yesterday on the show.
Yeah,
when we recorded. So
yeah, I know, I heard it.
So damn, because we just dropped it. No, I'm like, the episode just dropped. We talked about it on our show yesterday. This dropped today. So we talked about how we were going to basically book Adam Cole coming back to AEW, and I think E was like talking about, you know, circling back against the Bullet Club. My younger brother also talked about you can go back to that story if you're going to reinsert Adam Cole into the AEW foray. So you have to kind of revisit that Bullet Club story and see where it goes, and who better than to do it than Jay White. So if they do go through that route, I love bangers, man. So
because even with the Adam Page and Moxley feud, Adam Page is still kind of hinting towards the Elite. So it can all still work because they all kind of subbing each other in a way.
It's about to be some fun coming up soon.
Yeah, they I feel like they really planning for Forbidden Door 2, but we still have Double or Nothing after Revolution, so you never know.
That's also true.
Never know.
True.
Never. Okay. My bad, y'all. Speaking of Adam Page, we had Adam Page versus Kip Sabian. I like Kip Sabian. He's grew on me this year. Well, I've always liked him, but he grew on me more this year. We do need the low level heels, and Kip Sabian is one of them, and they are important. They are very important. So I don't think that this match should have happened. It wasn't necessary to do it, but I guess to continue on for Adam Page and Moxley's storyline, because even after that match happened, we had Moxley and Claudio and Willa Yuta, they came out and they cut their promo. And then you had Dark Order came out on some, we tired of being a joke. We serious. That's what he said. He said, I am serious. I am not scared of you.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of you. So maybe this is a way of Dark Order finally, hitting that as what people have been wanting from them is the serious angle, or continue the angle that they were when Brody Lee was part of Dark Order. So what did you think of this angle? Because me personally, I don't think it was necessary to do this, but I guess you have to continue to build because Revolution is like 2 weeks away. So what did you think? Ty, you can go first.
I agree with you on that. But for what they did do, it was decent. I like the fact that Moxley looked past Uno and went straight back to to Adam Page.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those angles where it's like you can promote it, but it's also one of those angles where it's like, I think in the case of these two, because they've been such, the word pillar has been overused in AEW, granted, but these two have been such foundational blocks of the company and kept it steady for such a while. It kind of sells itself, especially with the previous matches that they've had and how much passion they have from it. It's like you're taking two people. Yeah, these two, right? God, that look of Adam Page right there. Jesus Christ.
Most likely will be the match of the night.
Right, Texas Death, which going off of the last couple we've seen. I mean, this is Hangman's backyard, but it doesn't feel like he has the advantage going into it, which is an interesting dynamic.
Someone's losing teeth.
Two of the heaviest hitters, two of the most unorthodox on the roster, two of those blocks who you can both argue were the MVPs of AEW last year and will be for years to come. So it kind of sells itself. I mean, I'm over here doing all this basket weaving here, kind of making it, but I think it was an okay segment for what it was. I do agree it could have been done differently or it could have been scrapped completely, but with such limited time going into it, I get it. I kind of get it.
What about you, Randy?
I agree with Ty. So for the most part,
I always agree with Ty.
But we normally have the same mind when it comes to these things. So it's like I don't
We're
want
family.
to add on. Yeah, so I don't want to add on
with Ty.
Disagree.
Disagree with.
That's hard. That's hard to do for me.
That's his go-to. I agree with Ty. Like
she said, disagree with. Yeah, go. You know what? Go ahead, Rand. Give me your best devil's advocate. I get to be on the other end.
Listen, I ain't Jay. Listen, I ain't Jay. Jay will come in here and give you the complete opposite in terms of what I might say positively. Like, I mean, look. I mean, the angle could have been done better. Obviously. I'm just thrilled at the fact that we're getting it looks like a definitive match between Mox and Paige, because I know it's what they're going for. Mm-hmm. I am happy the fact that the Dark Order is kind of leaning towards it being serious. So obviously with Revolution coming up, you had to kind of like find a way to kind of angle it so that you can push it forward. It was what it was for me, but as long as we're getting Mox and Paige, that's all I care about.
I am a man. That's what he said.
I am my boy. I'm joking.
I am a man. All right. So the main event, of course, I will talk about during my women business segment. We're gonna jump right into Rampage review. Rampage, which it did start off the trios, the Elite versus AR Fox and Top Flight, and I feel like this match this time was fun. It had a better the best.
What?
That was funny. Oh my god.
They always doing shit.
Yo, respect. I fucks with them for that.
Elite always doing shit.
I mess with them for that. You know what? Like early on,
basketball.
Early on when they did that, it used to bug me. But I'm like, it grew on me because I'm like, that's mad funny. Because I'm like, what are you doing with basketballs in the middle of a match?
But see, you need it's things like this that just makes it. You need a little bit of the goofiness. Like you need comedy wrestling sometimes. Like because we're human. Yeah. Everything don't have to always be extra serious. We need the extra heels. We need the extra back. Sometimes that's what that comedic relief is for. So the best. Show the picture again.
I'm mad.
The airtime on Kenny though is what killed me.
I'm mad. Kenny got a dope ass behind the back pass. Did y'all forget? Like there's no reason for that.
Kenny might have played ball back in the day.
He did. He did play basketball.
So Kenny a hooper, man. Like
it's just not like there are a lot of things about him I don't know.
The only people that hoop in AEW, of course, Jay, Kenny, and Luchasaurus.
I didn't know that he did. There are a lot of things about Kenny Omega I didn't. Did you know his name at one point was Scott Carpenter?
I did not know that.
What?
His name was Cornerstone Scott Carpenter at a point, and he was dressed in the same, if y'all remember him when he was wearing trunks, those little Venom trunks, like his little, his little Marvel gimmick a couple years ago. I didn't know he played basketball. I didn't know you could do half of this in this match. Like there was a point where they propelled this man up trying to get the ball, and they got super kicked in the air.
That was fun. That was my favorite.
I was just like. It's not even the fact that you integrated the gimmick. It's like some of the innovations in the integration of the gimmick. I didn't even know you could do that. And then, I knew they were going to fly. I mean, look at the people involved, but I didn't think we were going to fly like that. No, I liked it. I don't even like the Bucks like that. But this is the most PWG Bucks I've seen on the show in a minute.
All right,
watch BT. They be hooping all the time. That's true.
Kenny is just like Prince with basketball. Like you think they can't play basketball, so they be like, okay, let's play basketball.
I never want to hear him say blouses.
Kenny go take off his shirt, and then I'm like, okay, we can play basketball. We can play.
Oh man, he'll have Tim Duncan trash talk. He'll be giving you like the most passive aggressive compliments while you're playing too. Almost got me.
Basketball and taking. That's crazy.
Oh man. Oh, we put that shit in the game. Like if he adds those little things into the game.
Hey, they might.
They do have a mini game section.
You know, it's taking 50 years for this game, so they're gonna have everything up in
Yeah,
I'm
waiting for the game to drop.
And they keep updating, and then we're gonna have this, and we're like, okay, but when it's gonna drop?
I'm waiting for it.
Like WWE done had 2 games already that done dropped.
I think the last time I heard they're gonna drop a couple weeks before 23. They're gonna drop a couple weeks before 2K23. So
oh my god,
I'm interested to see how that goes. And they're using basically the same engine both games, so this is gonna be a very interesting head-to-head with these two.
Yeah,
Lord,
community creation is gonna be lit on both games.
And then after that, we had on Rampage, we had Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. They setting that up. Wheeler Yuta came at Orange Cassidy kind of sideways, and I don't know if Yuta remembers, but you left them. Yep. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? You chose to leave them. I don't know why you coming at them as if they told you to leave. You chose to leave.
Freely, too.
You chose to do that. Are you mad because they didn't stop you from leaving? That's what you wanted to do.
Orange Cassidy had bars in that promo. He said, I wasn't trying to be your mentor. I was trying to be your friend. And I love that. I love that line. I also love it because Cassidy don't talk that much. So when he does talk, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're both champions too I guess the fact that they're both champions in the wake of the fact that they broke up the way that they did, they found success their own ways. There's a lot of symbolism that went into that match. And there's a lot of symbolism that went into that exchange. It was weird for me, but it was awesome for me because you don't get to see those subtle little things anymore. So that was pretty fun.
And I was going to bring that up. I'm glad that you brought that up, that I just wanted to be your friend, not a mentor. Like, this basically, if they do this right, this can be a good angle to teach that, sometimes you don't have to jump off. The grass ain't always green on the other side.
And, Cassidy has a lot of momentum going into this too. He's got one of the biggest hot streaks in the company in terms of his record right now, and the all the fan adulation and praise. So when you take all of that, and this could elevate into a bigger angle than people think if they were to go down that road and keep going. So it could help Yuta out a lot too.
Right, because if you think about it, Yuta had shit with Bryan Danielson because he felt like Bryan Danielson never had his bag. And then you always coming in to save either Moxley or you coming in to rescue for Claudio. You never really had to do that with the best friends.
Because they'd always pull up. they'd always pull up.
It was always there.
But I think it's also good promotion for like ROH, considering the fact that they're going to go on Honor Club coming up soon in early March. So this is a good way to kind of use that and showcase Wheeler Yuta as a pure champion. So I kind of like that cross promotion and the ability to the fact that they can jump on both, and the fact that he's a pure champion when you're going into Honor Club. This will be a great segue to kind of just push that brand much further when they do launch on March 2nd, I believe. On Honor Club.
Is it? I believe. Yeah, it has to be this. I think it is on the same week as Revolution. I think so. But yeah, so that is a good segment. So that match will be this Wednesday. Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. After that, we end up having
a CW show in a good way.
After that, we end up with Daniel Garcia versus Ricky Starks. Again, the leather pants is fucking with Daniel Garcia. And Daniel Garcia failed again with the distraction by Sammy Guevara. Like I've been saying, if you're paying attention, it's a story within that story. So Daniel Garcia is challenging Sammy Guevara is challenging Action Andrade because Action Andrade came out and chased Sammy around, which that distracted Daniel Garcia, which caused him to lose. And again, this is the second time Sammy Guevara has came in to distract Daniel Garcia from a win. Like I've been saying, Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara slick have a feud within each other to get Jericho's who's the right hand man to Jericho. And like we're seeing Sammy be dirty. He's giving him these leather pants to wrestle in. Daniel Garcia don't wrestle in no leather pants. It's messing him up.
Too tight.
And then, too tight. And then you coming out here, he said he wanted to do it by himself. You still came out here, cause a distraction for him to lose. Like you want him to lose. And Daniel Garcia is going to eventually wake up to that. We still have the story of, Ricky is the casualty in this story. But it's going to build him up because everybody been wanting him to be on pay-per-view and to have a major pay-per-view card, which he will eventually face Jericho. That's the end goal to it all anyway. So what did you think about the match in itself, though, between Daniel Garcia and Ricky Starks? Randy, go first.
No, I mean, listen, I'm a huge Ricky Starks fan. I was happy to see, the way the match went. Obviously, high octane, move sets between both guys. But them damn pants was too tight. It was bothering me, man. Because I'm like, one false move and you're gonna rip them pants in the middle of the ring. Mm-hmm. It could be a lot, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed Ricky Starks. I kind of wanted Starks to be away from that Jericho story, to be on his own, to do something else. But basically, off of what you said, is going to lead to Jericho and that one-off, that one-on-one at a pay-per-view somewhere down the line. It could be a Revolution, it could be further down. So, anytime that Ricky Starks has some importance on TV, it's always a plus for me. And that story within a story between Garcia and Guevara, kind of very creepy to me because I'm like, you're trying to battle for Jericho's attention like that. Just, it is what it is with that.
But it's been a battle for Sammy since last year, since when MJF was on the other faction when he joined. Like he's been trying ways to get rid of the young lion in the group. That Jericho already gave Daniel Garcia a lot of attention during the whole I'm sports entertainment, I'm pro wrestling. He didn't give that attention to Sammy Guevara.
He trying to keep Jericho to himself. He been trying.
He's been there from the beginning. You kind of like it's starting to feel like what do you call it? It's like he feels like he's the middle child, and he doesn't want that. I didn't do that because of you, Rand. Stop looking at me like that. I did it because he doesn't like the idea of the tension going away, and for me, this is the out for Daniel Garcia. This is the out. This allows him to finally break off and get the singles push that a lot of people were hoping for some time ago, right? Mm-hmm. So hopefully this will be the payoff. I don't want him to wrestle in pants no more. I don't care if it's leather pants. I don't care if it's a gray pants battle royal. I don't care I need him to go back to his regular clothes because this is atrocious. I don't like when Jericho does it, but I understand. I don't like when he does it. I can't do it no more.
He has to. He's 52 years old. I don't want to see him in no trunks.
Yeah, I ain't trying to see that.
I don't want to see him in no look. He was wearing the lion heart stuff, and it was all right. I don't think putting him in tight leather pants is help. If I don't know. Jericho just dress up like Moxley. Just get some baggy ass jeans or something to help you. I don't know. I have no idea.
Wear them same boots and what Moxley be? He be wearing them boots that
Wrangler jeans
and any type of shirt. He good. A hoodie. It's gonna be some type of hoodie.
Matter of fact, you know what, Jericho, find your suit from 2008 and wear that. Wrestling. Look from.
Even though I love corporate Jericho. I did corporate champion Jericho. I did. I adored it when he walked in. I didn't like it.
This is for my entertainment. This is because I'm sorry, Jericho's been hopping on a lot of the hottest trends in AEW recently. I want payback. Wrestle in a suit. Wrestle in a suit. Do it. If you do a lion salt in a suit, I'll call you the GOAT, Jericho. How about that?
Call him to go now because you're on my show, so you got to call him to go.
I'm being held at GOAT. I'm being asked very nicely to say he's the GOAT. He is one of the GOATs. but he will be the GOAT in my heart if he does a lion salt in a suit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That and did that. Could be a corporate lawyer or a hood. She's a ghetto type broad, and her life.
And that is exactly why I don't want him to wrestle in pants.
Did you see that spin though? Yo,
that's one of my favorite videos, man. He was hitting that shit for real.
Oh, the spin, it was so smooth. Do play it one more time, Graham.
He was hitting that.
Play it one more time.
She been that and did that. Could be a corporate lawyer or a hood. She's a ghetto type broad, and her life.
The closer I get to you, better say it.
Like he was hitting that, boy.
I need Jesus. That's what I need. I need Jesus. Oh my God.
Shout out to everybody that went to the Jericho cruise. I am jealous of all y'all because this year it looked like it was fun.
Yo, when I saw Private Party was dunking people in the pool, I'm like, yo, y'all having that kind of fun?
They said this year was lit, so I'm about to go this time. And it's black people this time that was there this time, so I'm going.
Speaking of black people and Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy. Isaiah, you know, I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't even know if I can say that. I don't even know if I can say that on this show.
Isaiah's making a name for himself with the
Isaiah's getting
people ear and stuff.
He's also getting choked out by Stokely Hathaway on Twitter, so I don't know where his priorities lie at this point. He can't even help.
That video is so funny. He said, "He's here with my 2 sons."
He said, "Mariah won't date you."
That's the PG version of it, yeah.
Mariah, please, I want to be front row to your tickets to your concert with my son. That video is funny. Shout out to Jericho Cruz, everybody that went.
Stokely a trip.
That video is on the Hall of Fame. Okay, and then after that, we had Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland. Swerve is attacking Nepo babies right now. Yeah, we saw that Dustin ended up winning by DQ, but Swerve was beating that man like he stole something. Like he was really beating the fuck out of poor Dustin.
He was collecting reparations.
Yeah. That Swerve
don't put that. No, not that face. After he said reparations. Not that face.
He said reparations. They gonna post the picture. Then he next to that white man.
Why a face like that, man?
It's bad angry, son.
Stop putting it on the screen. Why he look like that?
Dustin, he beat that boy up. But then he was about to break us one of that concrete on his head. And then Keith Lee comes out.
Carl Winslow?
We don't ageism on this show, Randy. We don't do ageism.
I'm trying so hard to stay professional, and then y'all saying that, and then put that image back on the screen, please. Just put it. Look at Parker Bordeaux's face. Look at. No, not that. Ew, not that. He bait and switched me. God damn it.
Parker is confused on who that is behind him.
Why does Parker have the same face as Heidenreich right here? What is going on?
Y'all, and not to Keith Lee, I love you and I'm a fan, but I want to say this because when you popped up, I didn't know who you were. I was like, who is that old man? And then I'm like, oh, this Keith Lee, he just tired of putting the black dye on his hair. Okay.
I want him to keep this look. I just want him to embrace it. I want him to keep it.
He has no choice.
He has no choice.
It looks like it grows too fast. Like it looks like once he died, it'll grow like the gray just don't come out.
Yeah. My word, what a segment. Or
Keith Lee, or you can dye it blonde. So you can look like Cisco.
Cisco
Next question.
Cisco got very fat.
dedication to he had blonde hair too.
Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Next question.
What's wrong with the blood? It helps disguise the.
No, I was with. If you said Shelton first, I would have had you back. But you said Cisco first, and that era of Cisco.
Everybody, when you think of a blonde fade, you think of Cisco.
I do, and then when I think of Cisco, everything that comes afterwards is hilarious, and I can't keep a straight face.
Hey, man, let me see that.
Keith Lee needs to meet Keith Lee. Wait, what?
Cisco cartwheeled for booty. I can't take anything seriously after that.
He took it to church. Shout out to Cisco.
Oh, grow the beard back. Yeah.
Gold standard Keith Lee. But this is more like platinum standard Keith Lee. Okay, this is
I like the sound of that.
This is great, Keith Lee.
Yeah.
So we gonna get the continuation of Keith Lee and Swerve because it's not done because Swerve put that concrete brick on his belly, so now he back because he was about to do it again to Dustin Rhodes. And poor Parker, he was confused. Parker was like, "What is that?" That's what Parker like. That was under the cap that he had on earlier. I wouldn't have known. That's why I was looking like that. My bad. I was confused.
Parker's face, just in that shot. I'm sorry. It's just it.
Yeah, they be getting the best shots.
No, that's one of the worst shots I've ever seen him on his face. I'm sorry, continue. I just
yes, oh boy. Yes. So we gonna move on to women business. Women business. Put the promo up for women business. Y'all know the rules. Everybody that's on the chat know the rules.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
Stay out of women. If you have something to say in regards to the AEW Women Division, you know to raise your hand, and I will call on you to speak. Okay. All right. Women business. I'm gonna start with Dynamite women business. The main event. We had a women's main event on Dynamite. It was Ruby Soho, Britt Baker, and Toni Storm. Now the match did start off really, really strong, and it felt a little bit flat towards the end. I will say it's really nobody's fault. I guess what looked good on paper just didn't look good when it actually happened. Toni Storm and Saraya have been spray painting the girls, green spray paint, calling them losers, spraying losers all on their bodies. Saraya spray painted Toni's yams so Toni can do the hip thrust that she does, which is very, very brutal because make you want to, make you get CTE with that hip. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people, including myself, was confused. We was in confusion. When that happened, it was a lot going on. I knew where they was trying to take it. It just wasn't executed well. But it's fixable. It's not, oh shit, this shit is terrible. Like, it's a fixable era of what they're trying to get to because we know what it's trying to lead to, which is the first blood and guts, women's blood and guts that I've been, saying that it's going to happen. But I saw more people were saying that Saraya is messing up the momentum for the women's division. It's not true. I don't believe that is true, but I do, you got to be careful of some of the ideas because sometimes, like I said, if it looks good on paper, that's one thing. But once you do it or once you, run it over and things like that, it's okay to be like, hey, let's take this a different approach because this it may not go well. This fell a little bit too flat. So just a fixable error that they can do. Don't do that no more. Do something else. You can execute it in a different way to get the message to come across, because what should have been, which they kind of messed it up with what they was doing, like I've been saying, it's really the fight of Ruby Soho. Whose side Ruby Soho is going to be on. They kind of missed that mark because of that distraction thing that happened between the spray paint and Britt doing the cover, or she looked like she was kind of confused on what to do. It was just a lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened, especially them main eventing that night. So fix it. Just go in the booth and fix it so we can get back in the right direction to push this story, because this is one of the better stories that they have going in AEW so far. It's just that Wednesday, the execution wasn't there, but it still can be fixed. So fuck it, we ball, okay? So that's an error that can be fixed. Also, I want to say on Women Business, I want to, Thunder Rosa was the bigger person this week. She apologized to the women's division, the locker room. She issued an apology to everybody, letting them know that she's sorry if, I was responsible for, and I hate to say that Drip was right because he was right, but that's still my girl, that she was sandbagging and all these other things and causing conflict in the backstage and things like that. She owned up to her part. She apologized, and commentators in AEW as of right now, because she's still injured. So she's not allowed, and she's not wrestling for right now. She is still on the injury list, but she is contributing with the Spanish commentary, and she's also helping out with the women's division as well. So kudos to Thunder Rosa for having big balls and being mature. We don't have a lot of mature people in wrestling, and kudos to her for being mature and owning up to her mistakes to make things right, because the AEW women division is going in the right direction, and the last thing that they need right now is conflict. So kudos to her for, apologizing to Toni Storm, apologizing to Britt Baker, apologizing to the people, that she had a conflict with, or some of the things that she has said when she was on the podcast, different podcasts that she was on in the interviews, and of course, certain shade that she's thrown on the timeline and stuff like that. So that's what you need to turn on a new leaf. Even if you felt like you was in the right at the time, she still was a bit, I'm just going to apologize. Let me apologize. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to say, well, I reacted because you did this. She just simply apologized. So we can have, so we won't have another back, media scrum. That's all. So we don't want none of those. And is that, I thought you had a hand raised. Moving on, also for Rampage, we did have Jay Cargill versus a young lady named Berta Vixen. Berta Vixen? What's her name? Vixen? Berta Vixen? I don't know. One of them. But Jay Cargill, of course, she took the dub, another quote-unquote jobber, but she is, she has expressed that she is ready to be in the same match as Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker and things like that. As people say, a serious storyline. But like I have been saying on the show, and I've also seen her say it on her Twitter as well, don't disrespect the feud that she had with Nyla Rose, the feud that she has with Red Velvet, and also Athena, because they were great stories, even though it wasn't as in-depth as this story is with the AEW Women Division and the ex-WWE girls, but it still was a storyline, and it was still a great sequence that she had with those ladies. So, she's saying that she's ready to move on up to be in the big, with the big girls, not the big girls, but, y'all get what I'm saying. The girls that always went for the AEW Women's Division title, basically. So the big question is, who is the person to dethrone or also be in the same, feud with her? And she keeps saying, people keep saying, well, it can't be Chris Statlander because she's still her, but I feel like that they are still waiting on Chris Statlander. That's the only person that I can think of right now. So it has to be Chris. So I'm gonna just put it at Chris. I feel like it's gonna be Chris Statlander, but I do feel like Jade Cargill may be placed in the battle with the AEW Women's Division and the ex-WWE girls. It's just a matter of whose side will she be on. I feel like they will put her in that because she did state that she wants to be part of, the major storyline. So I feel like they will end up putting Jade Cargill on this storyline as well. Hopefully they get started with picking the women who's going to be on who. So in my AEW women's division, my women business of the week is going to go to Thunder Rosa. She didn't have a match, but owning up to the shit that you do and able to apologize, it takes major maturity and it takes balls. And she is my women business of the week. It takes guts to do that because we want, like I said, the AEW women division to be on a good note. So she is my AEW women business of the week. And that's enough of the women business. Now, if y'all got something to say, y'all can raise your hand. Any takers? What, Randy?
All men should stay out of women business because that's women business.
I mean, I'm happy the fact that Thunder Rosa owned up to basically what's been going on in terms of the backstage situation. She's a vital member of that women's division, and regardless of whatever took place, I mean, she is an integral piece of what they do. So I would like to see her back, and this is probably the first step in terms of her coming back and getting reintegrated with the women's division, and she's definitely missed and needed. So I'm happy about that. And we've been saying on the broadcast, echoing the same sentiments, the fact that Chris Statlander is probably going to be the only person that should be beating Jade for that title. And if not, I think my brother mentioned this, if not, you can probably still have her as champion until she's ready enough to do it, and you can ingratiate her into main storyline feuds. And I think she's ready. I mean, you've had her in the pipeline for about 2.5 years now, when you started from, Brandy and Cody and Shaq all the way to now. Like, she's really grown a lot in these last 2 years, and you got to give it to Billy Gunn and Daniel and Bryan Danielson for help training her and always getting her up to speed. Is very, very important to basically ingratiate a star that has huge potential and continue to cultivate that. And the fact that this is a big test to see if she's able to sustain that and grow that star power being put into this main feud. I would like to see if she's one of those women that's going to go into that blood and guts match. I'm very, very interested to see if that happens, and I'll be happy if they ingratiated her because she is a huge star, and I do think that it's time to kind of shine the light on that.
My only thing with Jade Cargill trying to join people like Jamie Hayter or Ruby Soho and things like that, as far as the promo wise, she'll get that down pat. It's just as far as the in-ring. My thing is, I still feel like in-ring wise, she's not ready yet. Because Jamie, Ruby, and even Britt is not even ready for them, but at the same time, Britt is kind of able to, she knows her limit, but she still can be, she can still be up to their speed, but they know how to carry Britt. I'm scared that if she gets in the same ring as like somebody like Jamie Hayter or Ruby Soho, it's going to be it's going to be a lot of carrying on their end because she can only do so much. Because she can only, you know what I'm saying? It's I won't say limited, but she's still in the phase where she is learning to trust her opponent. Because she's only trusting certain opponents. Like I've said it before, when she had the match with Nyla Rose in the beginning, you could tell the communication wasn't there. Like she wasn't trusting Nyla. And it took like towards the end, she started to kind of get there. Prior to her wrestling Red Velvet, she trusts Red Velvet because they practice all the time. Prior to her wrestling Athena, she was able to trust Athena. Like, you can't just trust certain people, especially if you're a champion, especially if you're going to be that person. You have to learn to trust the other person. And on top of that, how can I say? I don't want to say it without trying to bash her, but I feel like she still needs to go in the booth a little bit more with some of her moves, or learn some more moves, especially if you're going to be going up against somebody like Jamie Hayter or Rio or Serena Deeb. It's just different people, like in Thunder Rosa even. It's just certain girls are just different. And when she said that she's ready, she was saying as far as story, but I was just like, I'm waiting for her to talk about, okay, but what about in the ring though? You can be ready story-wise, but what about in the ring? You have to be ready in the ring for them too, because these girls are always practicing. They are always in the ring, even when they're not on TV. They are constant, like these girls are constantly, they practicing, and they also booked outside of AEW wrestling. Athena was just in Japan, you know what I'm saying? And in California. Rio, of course, is in, when she's injured, or if she's not, she's in Japan. Sheeta is in Japan. She has 2 titles. You know what I'm saying? These girls are constantly working. I only wrestle on Wednesday and that's it, or I only wrestle on Friday and that's it. If you're not wrestling, practice. That's my only gripe. Yes, she got good chemistry with Sky Blue, and that's because of Madison Rain. You know what I'm saying? Madison Rain is doing a good job as a coach. I
have a quick question. Do you think with Tony doing house shows now, do you think that would be a good way for her to kind of practice and get those reps in?
Mm-hmm. That's what she needs.
Okay.
That's what she needs. Like, you only get better. Like, and I know that she's tired of being compared to Bianca Belair, and I know Bianca's tired of being compared to her. But the reason why, and I know she's kind of questioning why she's always second to Bianca. We've seen Bianca work from NXT. She's improved, and she practiced. You an athlete naturally practices, and that's what she's done. She's practiced every, from NXT when she was supposed to have her moments. She knew she wasn't gonna have her moments at NXT because Trish promised her, when you get in the main road, that's when you're gonna get your. And she practiced. Just because you have the title, or just because the promoter is going to get you to where you need to go, it doesn't mean that you stop working to get to where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with Jay. Jay just, yes, you are improving, but just because you are improving, it doesn't mean don't stop practicing. Don't stop learning. Don't stop. Hey, I want to do this move. I want to do this move. I want to try this move. It doesn't mean don't stop. And I'm not saying that she probably doesn't work, but you have to, one thing is storylines, but AEW is all about matches. Storylines, and you want to do all of that other stuff, that's what different companies are for. But as far as AEW, to win the crowd over, they're all about matches. Promos is cool, but the matches got to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Britt only got away with it because that's what the women division needed at the time. They needed somebody like Britt Baker, so she's going to get away with that. And plus, she's mainstream, and her merch is still being sold out, and all this other. She's money. She sells. We trying to get you to that point, so you have to, you're black. We already automatically got to work 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing that she's able to be a Goldberg or have a Goldberg type run, because we never seen a black woman get a Goldberg type run in a company. But you can't say that you want to, now I'm ready for Jamie Hayter and all of this other stuff, if you're going to still do jobber type moves to jobbers to them, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So That's all I gotta say about the women business and Jade. So, but it's no shade to Jade or nothing like that. So don't take what I said and turn it into something else, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just being honest, being an unbiased AEW content creator right now. I'm just speaking some real shit, okay? Because I want to see her do better. I want her to get to where she wants to go. That's what I want her to get better. I don't want her to be stagnant because she has the belt or because of her name. I want her to get to that level so people can stop calling her green, or people can, stop saying what they're saying. Sorry, that's my baby. Said the movie is over. And that's it for my women business. So we're going to get into the road to Revolution. We do know that Revolution is like let me check my calendar. Hold on, y'all. Revolution, according to this calendar, look like it is in it's 2 weeks. No, actually, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, it's Revolution. This has probably been the most unprepared leading up to an AEW pay-per-view I have seen since 2019. I'm gonna start with you, Ty. What do you think is the flaws as to why we're not getting the excitement building leading up to a pay-per-view for AEW right now?
I think the elephant in the room is obviously AEW starting with a pretty major handicap, in the sense that they have to deal with all of the BS that happened from last summer on. And that's definitely halted certain plans that they had. They've had to adjust on the fly. But I think AEW has its own weird booking issues and cycles. I think that in terms of what they have a good pay-per-view schedule. Gives them plenty of time to work, but how they've used their time has been more so the issue. Some angles will start and then they fall off and we don't hear about them again. Some angles will get derailed by injury, which isn't their fault. But similar to what you're saying with the women's division, the idea that the only people we could really think about taking the belt off of a Jade Cargill is someone who's not even good to go at the moment, right? So for me, I think it's more so a booking thing. They have to have at least a plan B, and in some cases a plan C in case something that they don't have planned can't pan out. Because with a more athletic generation of wrestlers and a more athletic generation of matches, you have to have more plans, because an injury can happen at any moment off the silliest of things. We see it with Bailey getting hurt training, or Cody getting hurt training, or just training. Not even the match happens yet, right? So even maintaining their physical well-being to go out there and do what they do. So I think they need more plan Bs. I think that's part of the reason why this is you'll see those impromptu segments like the Dark Order and Hangman Page and I almost said good Lord, I can't say that on here. The BCC, there you go. What you call it? Don't look at me like that, Randy. Renee got away with it. Walk in. Now I'm playing. But what you call it?
She showed these.
Why that image? What the?
Just because they did it randomly on their broadcast.
You're right. I was waiting for the QR code because it kind of reminded me of that at first too. No, but yeah, it's just they need better planning. You also got to remember the amount of cooks that most companies have in the kitchen can be a problem. Tony has been doing it a lot on his own, at least from reports I've heard, or he's taking a lot onto himself. That'd probably be the best way to put it. So, talking about trust and whatnot earlier, need more trust there. Just need better planning and backup planning. If you need to make a play for a plan C, that's great. Sometimes if you have two backup plans, if the first plan goes well, you don't need them. But if one of the plans, if plan A doesn't work, you can integrate plan B and even integrate elements of plan C into it, if just in case, to get certain things going. So I think that's why, that's my main thing. It's just a matter of getting those promotional aspects right. I know they've had issues with that in terms of certain stars coming on the show and certain angles being dropped. So once they get more rigid and firm on those ideas, I think they'll be okay.
You feel the same way, Randy, or you feel differently?
I mean, a lot of it does have to deal with the booking situation, and a lot of it also with the injuries. Because sometimes when they have a vision for a superstar, that person gets hurt, and you basically you have to have like substitutes in terms of what happens, and that's where the undercard is so important to AEW in terms of the stars that you have that can honestly carry that if something happens. I think they should flesh that out more. Like if something, if when the whole Punk situation happened and the scrum and you didn't have the elite. Like you were able to focus on certain guys for a while, and now that they're back, you don't have to don't keep them away. You can continue to focus on them because anything can happen in professional wrestling. And to what Ty said, we're in an era where everything's so athletic to a point where people can injure themselves doing anything. Some people can hurt themselves walking. These things happen. Freak accidents happen. So my thing is for them to have a consistent kind of rotation in terms of who you guys are going to basically market and push. And if you have that set, have presets in terms of what happened. If this happened, if this case scenario happens, we have this alternative so that by the time we're rolling into a pay-per-view, we don't have to worry and scramble for something just to put together. And the fact that we don't look unprepared. Tony's been prepared at least from the middle part of 2020 on up until the scrum. Everything was prepared because you had all pieces in place, but because of what happened in September, everything became frazzled. So now you're putting certain pieces back together and you're just kind of leaving things that you were actually building up. So I would like for them to kind of go back to that and continue with that with consistency.
It was like that before that man showed up.
And I told you he showed up.
I didn't want him there. Everybody, I've been saying this.
I didn't want him back either.
I didn't want him there. But I agree with everybody. On that, Tony, I think it's more because he's still the only one doing it. We could tell that he don't trust anyone with the story or the direction or the vision that he thinks it should be, because all the day ones, we was there when Cody was part of the creative. We saw how that went, and I know he's not trying to go back to that, and he's just scared. I know he's still I don't want the wrong creatives, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I do it, it'll be done the way I want it to be done. And he has a lot of responsibility on his plate outside of wrestling as well. So, Tony, you may have to start getting writers. You may have to start getting creatives.
Got Jeff Jarrett right there.
You also got Dean Malenko, Jerry Lynn. You got some people who've seen some things.
You got some people back there.
You got to use them. You can't just hire them and not use them.
But don't push in the other direction. That's the key thing. You don't want to go to the other extreme. Yeah. You want to go more towards the middle of the bar.
Exactly. And I was about to say that, and I feel like that's where he is I feel like if I put these people in place, they're gonna result right back to the shit that we was not trying to do in the first place. We're not trying to be like them. We're trying to be like us. What makes us the alternative? And I think that's maybe what it is right there. No dig at Jeff Jarrett or nobody. Jeff Jarrett, of course, he's going to be over the house shows and things like that. I feel like Jeff Jarrett may be the creative that he may need. Also, Billy Gunn, because Billy Gunn has done a great job too. Trust in Billy Gunn a little bit more. Dean Malenko, you can trust in him a little bit. I don't get the E vibes from Dean Malenko. I don't get the E vibes from Billy Gunn, and I don't get it from Jeff Jarrett because, Jeff Jarrett and Trips had a whole falling out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those three. Just test them out. Just test it out. Just give them a chance. I say give them a month. Let them run creative for a month just to see how it goes. And if you don't like it, you can start all over again. Just let them have it for a month to get your mind right.
Yeah, but you don't want to run the risk of also having too many cooks in the kitchen. So if you do have like someone small, like if you have like say if it's a regular team, you have is just Tony at the top, obviously final decision, and then when you branch down the tree, you have Jeff Jarrett, you have Billy Gunn, who I feel like should be promoted in that situation anyway because he's done a lot, especially the last year, and deserves a lot of credit for it. Based off what he's doing with his sons and the Acclaim, the way he's been able to basically program, and market that program, and the women's division as well. So and producing from that standpoint. So if you see the positives that these guys are putting in, I would lean to basically trust these guys and put them in certain positions to do that. And then if you're going to put Jeff Jarrett in terms of creative for the live shows, it helps that as well. So you don't have to basically do too much. I mean, you're already a CFO for your father's, NFL team. You're doing so much, so I they can book Fighter Fest and they can book, all these things moving forward. So I would like to see if they can give at least a couple guys a chance and not have like a whole bunch of cooks in the kitchen. Just keep it small, 2 or 3 guys, and then you guys can meet for the board meeting every week and then have a general idea. So when Tony has a final say, he doesn't have to worry about, you have your own agenda. Dean Malenko is not going to have his own agenda. He's a team player as it is. Jerry Lynn, like Tyler said, he's seen some shit. So he's so he's going to be, a trooper. When it comes to Billy Gunn, he has done a magnificent job, and a little bit is because he does have that chip on his shoulder because of what Tripp said at the Hall of Fame speech. So he's definitely showing out in terms of how he's doing it from a developmental situation. So he wants to prove himself. So if this is a chance for that to happen, Billy Gunn is the first name I would say. All right, have him run a few things on creative on Dynamite as well as Rampage. Because for me, as of what I've seen the last couple of weeks or so, I've seen like Rampage be the much better show in terms of who's promoting it or who's surrounding it. I'm not sure if it's Jericho backstage doing certain things, but I do know Billy Gunn is at those shows, especially. So if he's doing those shows, while Tony is doing whatever he's doing, I think you should give Billy Gunn a chance. And then, of course, Jeff Jarrett, you have that mind, that wrestling mind. He ran his own company before, prior to Dixie Carter, but he was able to run his company before and sustain success that way. So I would pick his brain too. You have guys who outside the E can give you so many things that can definitely, move forward, push forward your company. And I think it's time for Tony to kind of just at least gain a little bit of trust with those guys and give them a chance.
Oh no, he's gonna have to. He's got Ring of Honor on the other hand. He has to do too, and he's not gonna be able to handle that either. So he's gonna have to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because you don't want to do all those things and wear too many hats. You're gonna go cuckoo. So you need to diversify your portfolio a little bit in terms of who has what responsibility.
Tony Khan, you're not even 40 yet. You don't want to look 65 and you're not even 40 yet. Okay, you don't put yourself in the early grave and you don't want to do that. Okay, so you're gonna have to trust somebody.
And you got the Jaguars. I'm like, bro, like
this dude, you got
delegate
juggling right now.
Delegate.
It's too much. You have too much juggling at one time, and you're gonna lose your mind. And you don't want to lose your mind, okay? Especially behind wrestling, because it ain't worth it. So who? Before we get into y'all wrestler of the week, I want to give the Black Bidness of the week. This week it goes to Bizarre Sinful. The Lights is a place out here in Dallas, and he also ships. He does sweets in a jar. It's really good. I love his peach cobbler. I love his cheesecakes. It comes in a jar, and he does ship. So I will post the link in my Instagram, and also I'm gonna start doing it on my TikTok too. I'm gonna start promoting folks on my TikTok. But yes, make sure you get your Bizarre. I repost them all the time on my Facebook if you're my Facebook friend. So make sure you get your sweets if you love Sweet Tooth, and he has reasonable prices too. It's none of that. You get one jar for $25. It's none of that. Okay. So make sure you. I will post his information on my Instagram. But let's get into y'all wrestler of the week. Ty, who is your wrestler of the week?
I had a choice, and it was stolen from me before I had a chance.
It's okay.
But it's your show, and I appreciate the fact that you taking that charge and kicking my ass. Take my pick. Done got thrown over the rope like it's the Royal Rumble. I pick Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I think he had a solid fighting from underneath performance with the modern day twist. I don't think his back deserved all of that, but he did a good job. And we're getting to a point where we can finally see the conclusion of this story now that his antagonist is healthy. And considering how much he takes from Christian, how much you could clearly see the man has influenced him and mentored him. I think it's time we get to see the true breakout performance from Jack Perry. If there is any person on this planet that can give you a star-making performance and bring out the best out of you that maybe you didn't even think you could have, it's Christian. His mind is unparalleled. He's up there. I'm so serious. Like y'all not gonna do this to me. You know how Randy Orton was considered boring before Christian.
Let him know, Ty.
You remember how people thought that Christian couldn't be the top guy, or they were like he should be the top guy on Raw, and then he went to the other show with red ropes. The Christian. Remember when ECW was dying and nobody watched? I watched before that, but I especially watched because of Christian. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Del Rio was a thing?
Oh yeah.
Who is Del Rio's best matches with?
Christian.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Y'all going. Yeah, and I'm not trying to jinx. I'm not. But like, just looking at Christian's catalog of AEW matches, you talk about match quality.
Who had more ring time during that the tag scene?
So you know that catalog. Yeah, but I love it here. I love it.
Carrying that man.
Christian. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Edge. Everybody knows I'm Christian over Edge, but I will say that Christian was always the better pure wrestler of the two. He was always the more subtle of the two, and he didn't have to do that much to get his name in that conversation. And when he did go over the top, people knew his name. And for a guy like Christian, because I know that's your wrestler of the week, Christian, what he could do with Jack Perry, the possibilities there. That's right. His catalog in AEW is ridiculous, to the point where it's just like some of the matches you forget are some of the best matches the company had. And a lot of people, because of that work rate mentality, think, oh, it has to be all the high spots and crazy moves. No. Work rate exists in many different forms. And Christian's ability to elevate and to build and to get to certain points makes a lot of wrestlers, that brings out a lot of wrestlers you don't think, like even him and Matt Hardy. Like that match on paper is not something you'd want to see. You go back and watch it. It was very solid. Him and Matt Sydal. Him and Kazarian off his first match was a highly anticipated match. So much so that the people in the back were coming out in the crowd to watch him. And then you take the raw potential of Jack Perry, who at this point is already proven he will do what he needs to do. It's actually kind of Cody Rhodes like the way that he be sacrificing himself sometimes for these angles. So. And who was one of Cody Rhodes' best opponents in WWE? Christian. So we at the point where, me and Kiki are on the same page here. Our wrestlers of the week about to put out one of the best matches at Revolution.
Our wrestler of the week.
Yeah, our wrestler of the week.
Yeah, that's
Jack Perry and Christian. About to kill it.
Randy, who is your wrestler of the week?
Well, I have wrestlers of the week, so I got Ariel Fox and Top Flight. They're probably my favorite trio to watch, man. Like every time they come out, it's just hot. Like everything is so high octane. Like they're fun. Like when they come out, like Dante and his brother, like they're fun to watch. Like especially on Rampage, like they're my favorite thing to watch on Friday nights. Like if I know they got a match on Friday night, or especially on Rampage, and I tune in when I see them, whether they're the first match of the night or the main event, like I just love watching them because you know you're gonna be high flying, all this great stuff, and they just have great energy. Like wrestling's about energy and about having fun. Yeah, like you said earlier, you need your comedy, you need your seriousness, you need your, you need your stuff in between. But when you need your fun, like that joy, those boys got that joy, man. So like seeing three black men going out there and just go crazy, man, it's a fun thing for me to watch.
Tyler, like he about to share the tears. You said that it's that joy.
Because I'm happy for all the troubles they've had as a team in terms of the unfortunate injuries, as we mentioned. And then AR Fox is like, he's just been here for the longest time, and he's finally getting his big break. A lot of people in AEW getting a big break along that Eddie Kingston line. But AR Fox now he has a niche. Now he can just sit here and mentor these two boys on top of everyone else who's been giving them advice. and he could just go out there and show everybody what they've been missing for the past decade plus. So it's just like,
and he's a coach, so he don't have to be in the ring. He's still gonna get paid. I know that's right.
I hope I have that vertical down the road. I hope I could do half of what they do. Man, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They up in the lights. No Booker T. They just
my wrestler of the week is Christian. Ty already explained it for me because that's our wrestler of the week. So he explained it. Man?
What y'all want,
Christian.
Bro?
I don't. When I heard the song, I jumped up. I started screaming.
Like, why did you cry when Edge won the Royal Rumble? It wasn't because Edge won the Royal Rumble. It's because Christian came back at the Royal Rumble. Y'all didn't expect that. Y'all didn't see that coming.
I was so happy.
Yeah. I almost dropped my phone. I couldn't afford to get a new one. I had to hold it. There was no reason. He was looking for his peeps. He's just out here. Why did he have so many jackets? I don't understand why he has it. Like, he's just, and he, in every way, he's killing this evil. Like this, I don't know how to. Y'all don't understand.
I missed the hoodie though. Like the hoodie Christian
jumpsuit Christian was fire. But let me tell you something right now.
With the velour suits.
Yes, but do you understand this evil Professor Christian? Why does he have so many jackets? There's no reason for. Do we have that photo of him in that crimson jacket just out here for blood? Do we have that? I hope we have that because this is what he does, man.
When that turned on he said, "Did I ask you a question, Little John?"
Yo, I'm so glad we can all just sit back and laugh at that because I got so scared when that clip resurfaced. I'm not even gonna sit there a lot. I'm not going because I remember that clip. I watched that episode. That was hilarious.
I thought people was gonna cancel Chris. I'm like,
who's we? No, I was gonna fight that fight. Y'all not gonna do that. All right, Booker laughed too. He laughed mid promo. You can't take nothing Booker T did in TNA serious. Black Snow. I'm sorry. No, Black Snow in my country.
The African
accent.
Why be Joe in my country?
Kevin Nash's name was Chet Lemon. Come on now, y'all can't do this to Christian. TNA in 2008 was wild. They
were not serious at all.
Christian went to ECW over TNA. I don't want to hear this. Okay, don't talk to me about TNA in 2008. God damn it.
Now let me move on to the Goofy of the week. The Goofy of the week. Before we get out of here, the Goofy of the week goes to the wrestling journalists this week. Everybody, all y'all. This ain't about Ariel right now. He's part of it. This ain't about him. We already knew he was goofy. Okay, this we knew he was goofy.
God damn.
We knew Ariel was goofy from that. Like, we knew this already. Okay, this ain't no shocking. But I want to say that it's more like Ariel that is out there. Ariel is not the only person that's doing this. You have people on both sides doing this. And they not even journalists. It's people that are podcasters that is just like Ariel. All of y'all are Goofy of the week because all of y'all are making this shit unfun. All of y'all are making it so unfun, and y'all are adding on to the toxicness that we do not need. Y'all not watching wrestling for fun anymore. Y'all are watching for connects, and it is messing up everything. But backstory to the people that are confused on what happened with the Tony Khan and Ariel situation. Boom. Okay, take it back. Y'all remember when Ariel had an interview with Tony Khan and he was asking Tony Khan about things that Tony Khan could not discuss due to an investigation with the media screen. Journalism 101, everybody knows you're not supposed to do that. Even if they don't tell you not to answer certain questions, you as a journalist know if it's under investigation, you do not ask about it because they can easily sue you for that. You can get a lawsuit for that. If you went to college, they told y'all that. If you did any type of journalism, even if it was in high school as an elective, they taught y'all that, okay? So basically he did that Tony Khan couldn't answer the questions. He had to move on from, him trying to get dirt. He used that and said that Tony Khan was unprofessional with him, blase, blase, blase. But we cannot take that, we take that with a grain of salt because he called Sasha Banks unprofessional when she didn't want to answer certain things that he was asking that he wouldn't have asked Becky Lynch. We know how that go, okay? People do that. They ask certain people certain things that they know they wouldn't ask certain people. Anywho, fast forward, we see Ariel at the Undisputed thing in the crowd as one of the ring announcers or whatever. Tony got his lick back on Twitter and basically called him a fraud because I guess when he wanted to interview with him, he, told him what he wanted to hear so he can get that interview. Ariel's not goofy of the week because it's more like him that nobody's talking about. What I saw today on the timeline, I saw a bunch of Ariels talking about Ariel. Like, you do the same thing that he's doing. The only difference is you know how to hide your hands better when you throw your rocks. Prior to him, he's showing you, he letting it be known. And I also want to put y'all into some more game. Y'all have to understand, and I've said this before on my show, Trips is, he knows how to sell water to a well, okay? He knows how to get certain people to be on his side. He knows how to get his pawns. You know how he knows how to get his pawns? Because a lot of people in the wrestling community, especially that are journalists or podcasters, are weak-willed, and they will do anything to get to a certain level or to get access or to get connections. He prized off the weak-willed people. I put a post on my Instagram. People were saying, oh, Tony is being a baby, blase, blase, blase. Y'all have to understand, if you ain't paid attention to the things that Trips has been doing under the table, Trips sent William Regal over there. Trips also sends different type of reporters over there. And I said William Regal because when William Regal did that interview last month, when he said that he thought when he was going to go over there, he was going to get a talent job, like be over the talent. That's when I was like, oh, Trips sent that man over there. He sent that man over there to spy on the talent that they want to try to grab for over there. That's what he did. He's sending people over there subliminally. I said that wrong, but it's okay. Y'all know what I meant. He sent people over there. Basically, Ariel is Nick Khan's pawn. People are sending their pawns over there to mess up what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that AEW and WWE are not competition. We know that WWE is up there. AEW is the second behind because they get into that point. A lot of y'all are pawns too, okay? You have podcasters that have once been the people in the middle, and you can drastically see which side are they on versus which. I know I'm all elite with Keeks, but I ain't on nobody payroll, because if I was on somebody payroll, I'd be on somebody vacation right now. I wouldn't even be doing this. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be doing this show. I'd be on somebody vacation or with my hair done, with my bags, just screws, not starting mess. Okay, so you have podcasters that's part of the puns, and if you feel like I'm talking to you, then damn it, I'm talking to you. Okay,
So
y'all
is JR.
So is JR with what?
He's a plant. Saying Jim Ross is a plant.
Jim Ross is too old to be a plant.
He's too old selling barbecue.
Jim Ross, first of all, Jim Ross didn't choose to get fired. That was all Michael Cole. That's why he don't like that man. Okay, Jim Ross did not ask to be fired. Y'all love Michael Cole. Michael Cole did some dirt to get where he's at.
Oh yeah.
Michael Cole did some dirt to get where he's at. And if you want proof, which WrestleMania it was that they asked Jim Ross to come back to commentate, and Michael Cole was fucking mad.
He was tight. Oh, I think it was a Punk match at 20. What the 20? Was it the one with Roman and Taker? At Dallas?
No, it had to be. No, it was the one that he fought Triple H the second time.
Oh, 28.
In that cage.
In Orlando, yeah, in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
2012
So
Orlando. Yeah, he was pissed.
Jim Ross didn't ask to be fired. Michael Cole did with it. Michael Cole is Tripp's boy. So that tells you all that you need to know about Michael Cole, okay? So basically what I'm getting at, y'all, me being a podcaster, a lot of people being podcasters, journalists, if you're a blogger, regardless if we're doing this for fun or if you're doing this for a hobby, we still have some form of responsibility too. We have to dissect what people are watching, informative and things like that. The problem is now, I've been seeing it since 2022. The problem is people are scared to lose connections, so they start spewing out everything. They are, most of y'all have cult followings anyway. So you start spitting out everything. Y'all are just being so toxic. It's a lot of y'all acting just like Ariel. Ariel he done secured the bag that he wanted.
Been secured the bag.
Y'all doing this for free. Y'all doing this just to know a wrestler? Just to still sit in the nosebleed? Y'all not even sitting front row. Y'all don't even be front row. Y'all still gotta pay for y'all own flight to get anywhere. Are they paying for y'all flights? So what is y'all doing this for? Because it's not even about wrestling no more. Y'all done made it about yourselves. Y'all done made it about your own intentions. This shit is not even fun no more. Ariel secured the bag. Ariel dick ride and got his bag secured. Y'all dick riding, y'all getting what? Retweets? That's it. What is we doing? What is we doing? So yes, if you're a content creator or a journalist or a blogger and you are part of this fiasco, you are goofy of the week. Y'all are making this unfun. Like, it's people that used to be fans of certain people. They're not even fans of y'all no more. Y'all are losing the sauce. Y'all losing it because y'all are all about not losing your connections. You're trying to gain some connections and you're being pawns. Especially if you black. If you black and you starting to tweet and act like a robot, acting like Ariel, you think they care about y'all enough? They ready to throw y'all under the bus. Y'all gonna be the first one to throw under the bus. The first, not the second. Y'all gonna be the first. So what y'all doing? You can't talk about Ariel if you were Ariel. Ariel secured the bag. He'd rather be a pawn. He likes being a pawn. He got where he needed to go, being a pawn. Y'all being pawns for free. Okay? So do better. And some of y'all don't even worry about getting on my show with that shit. So do better. Everybody do better. If you're a journalist, if you're a podcaster, do better. Watch wrestling too because you love wrestling. Don't watch wrestling because you just want to put a narrative out. And for all y'all that are aspiring to be journalists, the first thing that they teach is truth is more important than access. These wrestling journalists do not care about truth. They just care about their access. They just care about you clicking the link first. They just care about putting it out first. That's not journalism. Y'all are literally just popular people with credentials at this point. Y'all not even real journalists. I don't even think y'all went to school. And if you did go to school, I'm pretty sure your professor's shaking their head because they know they ain't teaching you that. They ain't teach you that. Truth is more important than access. If you don't have truth, don't put it out there. Don't act like you got the tea or the scoop because you don't. We done seen this whole month of wrestlers telling people that are over these journalist blogs and websites. I didn't say that. Where you get that from? That's a lie. Now you looking dumb, and everybody looking dumb. So if you're gonna be a pawn, make sure you're going somewhere. Because if you're being a pawn for free, that says a lot about you. You blow where the wind blows. And y'all be pushing 35, 40 and still blowing where the wind blows. Y'all older than me and y'all still blowing where the wind blows. I'm supposed to be looking at y'all. And y'all acting like kids. Okay? So get it together. And y'all goofy of the week. Okay? Okay. Any shout outs? Y'all have any shout outs or anything y'all want to say?
Shout out to my heart rate.
We just dropped our brand new episode. We just dropped it today. Our editor-in-chief, the Golden Child, who's upstairs. We talked about Adam Cole and how to reingratiate him into AEW. We had some alternatives. We talked about him basically spinning the block with the Bullet Club type of situation, possibly Jay White showing on AEW. So we might have that coming. Obviously, this is our last week doing audio recordings. We're moving to a live show beginning March 4th on every Saturday at 2 p.m. We're under the Sports Hit List brand. So it's a black-owned brand hosted by our podfather, Carl Coulange. Shout out to the Haitian. So
what's his name?
Carl Coulange.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's okay.
That's the I thought you said something else. I'm just like, what's going on over
That's
there?
the Podfather. So he does all types of other shows. There's another AEW show called the AEW Injection. It comes right after AEW on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. So check that out on the Sports Hit List Network. Zach Droll does an incredible job. They do also do a show called Loyal to the E. Sometimes my Podfathers are too loyal to the E. But I also do all NBA shows as well on there. I do the Homers podcast separate from the Sports Hit List with my boy Rob, who's on the Dan Patrick Show. We're going to come back this week. This week on the broadcast, we have Brian H. Waters from the Wrestling Realm, so we're going to chop it up when we record this week before we go live. So that's just what's going on with the Backstage Brawl so far.
My fellow peeper, do you have a shout out?
I mean, Randy said everything that I could have possibly said. I'm being Randy right now. I agree with Randy. I think that I'm playing.
I agree with Randy.
I love you, man. That's family. He's my family. I got to mess with him. But no, I'm happy I could be here with y'all today. This was an awesome experience. First time being on here. Please check us out. Check out our next episode. Shout out to Christian's jacket. And I got nothing else better to say, really.
Yes, make sure y'all follow Backstage Brawl. I'm pretty sure most of y'all do on Facebook. They are probably one of the largest wrestling page on Facebook.
Yeah. Also, my brother dropped the article a couple months ago in terms of like wrestling fandom. I posted it on Twitter. You guys got to check it out. If you are a wrestling fan, my brother's a really good journalist. He's an awesome pen. Please check it out. I'll post a link tonight and tomorrow, so you guys can definitely get a chance to read it. So just wanted to plug that for my brother up there. So, yeah.
Make sure you follow Backstage Brawl on all your social sites. Y'all don't have a TikTok, right?
Oh no, it's just I gotta change it because like I'm usually just posting up the clips on my personal TikTok. So I'm gonna see we're getting the process of making our own TikTok. But for the most part, we're just on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So.
Yeah, follow Backstage Brawl. They are another great podcast. They was one of the first to have me on their shit. So it's always love for Backstage Brawl. They gave me my platform first, and it's all nothing but love for them. Always love. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And also, if you're my friend on Facebook, hey y'all. Every Mondays we are live. I'll be here next Monday. I have two special guests, some rappers. We're gonna have some rappers next week. Yeah, some rappers next week. So tune in next week. Make sure you tune into Dynamite and make sure you tune in to Rampage. And like I said, y'all, if you are part of the content world and journalists, we all have a responsibility, regardless if it's a hobby or not. So you have to be careful because we have large followings, and it's a lot of people that have they don't think for themselves. So be careful because we do have an audience. Cater to your audience and remember why we did this in the first place. Do not lose track of why we did this in the first place because some of y'all are losing focus. We gotta focus, okay? That's it. Put up my getaway, Graham, please.
You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one.
Okay. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh, what the hell is
You've
that?
mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.